Hello, welcome to Views from my shed again. Now, I had a day off yesterday. I didn't actually do anything yesterday. I was going to say sorry I wasn't here yesterday. I dare say a lot of people aren't that bothered whether I was or not, and equally I was actually enjoying myself. So when I talk about how to enjoy yourself, about how to not be bored and how to have fun, I was actually doing it yesterday. Doing it as in I spent some time with my family, I spent some time in the garden, and maybe to the outside it didn't achieve a lot, but I wasn't bored. I was just keeping myself happy, keeping myself busy. And it's 8:30 on Sunday evening now. It's raining outside, which is why I'm in the shed again. Obviously if it wasn't, I'd probably be back in the garden doing a bit more gardening. I was going to talk yesterday about, I've lost my piece of paper, I was going to talk about how to move forward. The first thing I always think as far as moving forward is concerned is to work out what it is you want, work out where you want to be, what it is that you want to change. Now that could be something like a relationship, it could be something like a job, you want a new job, it could be any number of things, but the key is to work out what it is. Now when you're at school usually, or when I was back at school years ago, they say what do you want to be when you grow up. I wonder how many people actually ended up being what they wanted to be. What I tend to think is, well, how do I get to what I want to be? Because there's always a chance once you get there you don't want to be it any longer. And again, I know I keep harping on about it, but small steps, because what you want to be today might not be what you want to be tomorrow. So from a what do you want to change point of view, break it down. What I tend to do is break it right down. So if you want a new job, what job do you want? If you want a new job that means that you need some new skills, well, how do you get those skills? If those skills take a long time to get, are you still going to want the job when you've got them? Or will you find that the jobs aren't there any longer? So is it worth, instead of going into education, is it worth trying to get to that level of your career without the education side, just using the experience? So let's just say, for example, you wanted to be a gardener. If you wanted to be a gardener, now you've never done any gardening or paid gardening in the past, how do you become one? Well, you could do it on a voluntary basis. You could start to see if there's any charity organisations that need gardening. You could knock on neighbours' doors. You could have a look at evening classes, see if there's anything in garden design. Because realistically, you're probably not going to be able to apply for a job as a gardener and get it just like that. Unfortunately, that's a fact. You may well, but you probably won't. Most people want some sort of experience in the jobs that you're applying for. So the small step is read a book, see if gardening is what you actually want to do. Talk to gardeners, see if it's what you want to do, if it's what you can do, and then start planning the stages towards, well, how am I going to get there? Personally, I'm a fan of self-employment, of running your own business, of looking after yourself, because in this day and age people are laid off, redundant, all sorts of things all of the time. So if you've got a number of skills that you can turn into finance, brilliant. You'll never be short of work. So that's where you would start to already put your name in the paper saying, I can mow your lawn. Mowing lawns, you can charge £10 an hour for mowing lawns. You only need 3 or 4 of them a week, and that means you can afford an evening class to do something in garden design, or to get a license of some sort, to be able to progress. So when you think about what you want to do and what you want to be almost, break it right down. Break it right down. Another thing to maybe think is that when you talk to people, you tend to become what you introduce yourself as. So, for example, I work in an office. If I was to go to my neighbour and say, "Hello, I'm an office worker, can I do your garden for you?" They'd probably be thinking, "Well, what's this office worker doing trying to do my garden for me? Is he qualified to do my garden?" Whereas if I knocked on the door and said, "Hello, I'm your gardener, I live next door, can I do your garden for you?" You become that. That is what you become. And that boosts your confidence, because the more you're thinking you are something, the chances are that you become it. So it's not about getting rid of dreams, it's not about getting rid of hopes or ambition, far from it. It's actually about getting there. Getting there sensibly, getting there in a timely manner, but getting there nonetheless. And that's pretty much all I was going to say today. Have fun. It doesn't, like, I didn't do this yesterday. I felt bad about it. I know I've got a few subscribers. Thank you very much to that. It really means a lot that there's some people out there that actually want to listen to what I've got to say. Not because they have to, they choose to. So yeah, I felt a little bit guilty, but then I thought to myself, well, no, I'm talking about how to make yourself happy here and how to not be bored. Well, I've been happy and not bored, so the fact that I haven't been sitting here for however many minutes talking about it means I've been doing something else, and something that I've enjoyed, and something that has moved me forward in some way. Nothing wrong with that. It stopped raining now, so I'm back out into the garden again. Thank you very much for all the support. Thank you for subscribing. I think I've got over 100 views now. Well, that really is touching, so thank you for that. And I'll see what I'm doing tomorrow. If I'm not enjoying myself as much, I'll be back here. Okay, so thank you very much. Bye.